Right, it is a big day, ladies and gentlemen. Our merch has landed. So this merch is going to land when we hit 100,000 subs, okay? So I believe we're on about 90 now. So I know there's about 50% of you out there that watch but don't subscribe. So as soon as we get to 100,000, our new website will be released with our new merch store on the website as well. So make sure you subscribe because I am very keen to, I don't want to show you yet because I'm really quite excited, but this is coming. When we get to 200,000, this stuff's coming. Do you know, I remember the days where I always used to sit, I used to think, I'm never going to sit behind a desk, never going to do all that nonsense. I sat behind a desk. Who'd have thought it? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning back in. Now today we are mixing things up a little bit. I've got a mound of EICRs I've got to sign off and paperwork to do, but as soon as I've done that, I've got to go over to a house rewire. Well, it's a little flat actually. It's a little flat rewire over in NW somewhere, I don't know where. But Joe and James are over there now getting started, so I'm going to run over there in a bit and just go and have a look, because I've not even seen the place before. James did an EICR on it and it failed cataclysmically, so I'm going to run over there in a bit. But what I did want to discuss, I did a quote for an EICR. If you look out there, you'll see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tower blocks over there. The landlord's got like 10 flats in one of these tower blocks, and she wanted a quote to do an EICR on each of these flats. And I quoted, I'm such an efficient boss, I've lost my phone. I had it here literally 10 seconds ago. Why in the hell's tit? You have it.
Might be downstairs when you make your coffee.
Must have been. Oh yeah. Oh, that was nearly a week in hospital. I've done that so many times, I cocked it up that time. We've moved the office in this room here. We've now got a hammock, so I thought it's, a nice, cool setting, Yeah, we were working out the very back, and for various reasons, which are going to become apparent in the next few weeks, it made more sense to move the office in here, but I quite like it. It's, it's come together. This is Sarah's desk. She's got the sort of gangster desk. That's my one, obviously the smaller desk. There's a bit of a power battle here, as you can see. We've got some plants, yeah, we've got yucca plants, and, I don't know what that is. It looked nice, so I bought 2 of them. Yeah, it's a little, nice little office. Yeah, I've got the shitty used chair as well. 1,000 Northerners have been sat on this. Yeah, the point of this was this EICR thing. So I quoted £25 a circuit times up by 10 circuits plus 60 quid. So each EICR would have been 310 quid, right? So times that by the 10. So it would have been £3 to do 10 EICRs from start to finish. But then I sent the landlord this price, and he comes back to me literally the same day. He was right on it, and he said, yeah, the previous company are doing it for 80 quid a ticket. And yours is far, far higher. Well, they would have been 800 quid. Why is this? And I'm like, how do you explain that? Do you know what I mean? How do you explain that actually, look, they just don't give a toss? I don't understand how you... And of course, she's gone with the old company. The problem is, if the flats were like of a really bad condition, where you knew you could make up on the remedials, then sort of, okay, fair enough. But I've been over it. The flats are really good. There's nothing wrong with them. They will all pass. I mean, I know how they're doing it. They're just walking in there and they just have a quick look round, fudge some, fictitious figures on the test certificate and mark it as passed, and that's it. They send it out. But I'm not going to play that game. But of course, when a client says to you, 3,100 versus 800 quid, you know where they're going to go, So that was something I had to deal with, which we get that quite a lot. And it's very difficult to tell them that the other company don't care. But we are doing battle with quite a lot of that stuff at the moment. Customers holding payment, we're getting a little bit of that at the moment as well. We did a job the other week, actually. It was some garden lighting, and we finished it. It's one of the things that we've been doing the job for quite a while. We're always back there doing stuff, putting new stuff in, etc., etc. And we sent him a bill. I think it was like 400 quid or something. It wasn't a huge amount of money. This was like over a month ago, and Sarah was chasing some invoices the other day, and he was like, I haven't paid this, but the lights are tripping in the garden. Can you come back and have a look? So he's basically, he hasn't said it, but he's basically saying, I'm not paying this invoice until you come back and fix the lights. But I know what's going to happen. We're going to go back there. It'll be absolutely nothing to do with anything we've done. I can tell you exactly what it will be. The gardeners would have gone in there with the strimmer, the Husqvarna strimmer. They'll have cut through one of the cables to the spike lights, and of course it will trip. Now, I know that's got nothing to do with us, but what we find is customers then start holding payments because of those things. But they're things that are nothing to do with us. But customers seem to think that it's okay to hold payments. But we'll go there, and when we fix it, I'll be like, actually, look, that's not our problem. And then we end up submitting another invoice because I'm not doing that for free. So we're getting a bit of that as well. But we are moving forwards. There's an awful lot going on. Cautiously excited is the words I'm going to use. So I'm going to finish this coffee. I've got one email to, well, actually, I've got emails, I've got a load of EICRs to close out. There's lots to do, but I'm going to do one email and then I'm going to meet you over where Joe and James are working on this flat rewire and we'll have a look at that together. So give me 5, send an email, see you over there. Yeah, we're at the right block now. There's a block just back there. I rang the doorbell for number 12, it was the wrong block. I just ran away. All right, so this is the fuse board, well, what was the fuse board up here. So we got our incomer there. So the fuse board's gonna go back there. James and Joe, they're gonna rewire using the existing pipes. So same as up in the kitchen here. So everywhere in the center of the rooms have all got conduit boxes. So we'll use the old cables as draw wires to run our new ones in, and all these here we'll use it again. These will just be draw wires to pull the cable. Hopefully those will be the draw wires to use to pull the new cables in. Meter will stay here, but I'm going to guess they're going to upgrade that, I'd have thought, but again we'll just reconnect what's up there. The only thing we haven't got is sockets really, which is a little bit of a shame. Would have been nice if the sockets were wired and piped. That would have been a breeze, but unfortunately not. But it does mean hopefully we won't have to pull out the old back boxes. We can just keep those. If we've got to pull them out, we'll pull them out, but it'd be nice if we can keep them in. And then sockets and everything have got to be done in trunking. So you can see here on the skirting where they were all originally, they've just clipped everything direct. I guess we're going to follow suit with what was here originally. So it would be socket, trunking straight along, socket, all the way around to wherever he wants them. I'll be honest, that is going unusually simply, you know?
Waiting for something.
Yeah, to go cataclysmically wrong, yeah. And then in here is bedroom. Again, like for like, I'd have thought, socket there. I think he used to have old telephone points here by the looks of it, but I'm guessing he's going to fill those in. One there, and another light fitting on the ceiling. In old houses, they love to do this. They used to put the ceiling rows above the window. I'm guessing the idea was that the bed used to go here, and you had a light straight above for reading and stuff. We're just going to fit like for like, wherever it was is where we're going to put it back.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Look, we've had a hard couple of weeks, we deserve an easy one.
Yeah, fuse board upgrades on a Friday are no fun.
No.
We try to have Fridays as a day where we just wash the vans, restock and all that sort of stuff, and then we get in a text at like 6:45 in the morning. Guys, I know you're supposed to be doing that, but we've just had a sudden fuse board change come in. I think Sarah did that to you the other week, wasn't it?
Yeah. I thought it was a test.
Ears started bleeding behind the wheel. No! Yeah, the kitchen is the only awkward one, I guess you could go. Awkward. Cooker's going here. That's got to go on a plug top because it's a gas cooker. It's just the electronic ignition it needs power for. So we've got to run in a cable for that. But of course, all this has got to be done in trunking. There's an existing one here someone's put in. We might be able to run our cabling in that. The problem is trunking looks butt ugly. It just doesn't matter how neatly you miter it and cut it. It just looks unsightly. So it's trying to find ways of being creative, of getting your cabling where it needs to be without it looking like a pig's ass. Boiler's in there, so just put a 3 amp or a 5 amp fuse spur in there. We could pull these out actually and clip everything, bit of trunking neatly behind, maybe drill through on an angle underneath, take them under here, and there will inevitably have to be a bit of trunking going up here or something up to the new fuse board up there. Just thinking, what we should do, we should wait, just to shit him up. We should take the key to his van and move it somewhere else and just not say anything.
Just need some broken glass.
It's cruel, but we should.
Yeah. Drinks bowl, smash it on the floor.
Yeah, James, your van's not there. Where do you say you parked it?
No, there's nothing in.
Just a load of broken
glass in the van.
So this is the intake down in the bottom of this little estate here. This is only a little small block. There's only 7 flats here. 7 flats here. Each flat has got an MI, which it's a 10mm MI, which goes up to each flat, but it is neatly done. This is our flat, which Joe's just taken the fuse out. In fact, I need to get to put the carrier back in actually. But as you can see, it's basically a 10mm cable, but it's just single insulation. So what I was thinking, we're never going to be able to replace these because they just go straight into the brickwork and they just disappear. Trying to get up to the 3rd floor is just not, I don't see how we're going to be able to do it. So we might just put some 16 or 12mm Copex over this, just to give us our double insulation maybe. Just get one of the BS, a lower graded BS fuse for that, and just do that perhaps. I'm not sure yet, because I don't see how we're going to be able to upgrade that. That's a real faff, I don't really know. We'll work on it, but that's something there that by the end of the week you'll see how we've got around it. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we'll see. Right, so these guys have got this job pretty much under control here. They don't need me for anything. So we've got a quote we're going to go and have a look at now down in Gloucester Road. So we're going to go and do that. But to be honest, between now and then, anything could happen. But the next scene should be us in that property having a look at a quote. All right, so I've just had to make a detour. I said I was going to have to. I had to make a detour to pick up some furniture for the unit. This van in front, it's a SEAC E-Deliver 3. It's the first one I've seen out on the road. Yeah, but I like it. I mean, all right, it's a bit square and boxy, but it's a bit bigger than the Kangoo, but smaller than the Traffic. Considering it's basically a Chinese van, it's really nice. They've really put some thought into it. I'll tell you, give it 5 years, Chinese vehicles will be ruling. I can see it. Chinese vans. When you remember the LDV or EV80, the big boxy one, and that was a fucking hideous thing. That was like a pig that had fallen out of the top of a tree and hit every branch on the way down, and then hit face first into the concrete. It was a proper ugly pig. But this is their next generation. It really is. I'll put an overlay of the interior. It's such a nice little van. I am seriously considering one of them though. Right. Okay. Sorry, I had to divert to go and pick up some of these chairs with a writing tablet. So these are, in fact, hang on. I'll take that up as well. Mary Poppins. Okay. Yeah. I like it. Cool. It's coming together. Next job as a manager. Honestly, my job role has become so varied since we got this unit. You just end up doing, yeah. I kind of like it, but it is weird. This signage has got to come off to make way for the writing, which is on this truck here. I absolutely love that. I think it's exactly what I wanted. I don't know phone numbers, no web addresses and all that bollocks. Just a company name and a logo. I think it looks really good. So that's got to go on these. New graphics are here. I'm not sure if I get to put these on today, but that's got to come off. I've got a feeling when I take that off, I'm going to have to speak to George at Go Bob, because I'm probably going to have to buff this up, because I've got a feeling that when I take this off, this will have faded and that won't have. But we'll see. To be fair, it was very generous of him. He gave us this. I think in return for a bit of airtime, but to be fair, it is awesome. I don't really have to sell it. It kind of sells itself. All right, probably need to give it some water. Have you seen how awesome I wouldn't mind, but when I bought it, I didn't look at the reviews on Amazon. Every single review says the same thing. So that's not me incorrectly fitting it. That's just how it is. Fill it with a bit of water. This is the diesel one, but he's actually he's going to get me an electric one, because I think mostly valeters use these. They put it in the back of like a big van, like a custom or something. And then they just open the back doors, turn it on, and then the idea is you can have the mobile cleaning and stuff, but because this is just going to stay in the unit, he's going to get me an electric one, but it's 27 kilowatts, so I've got to fit a 3-phase socket for it. So for the time being, I've got a diesel one, which actually I kind of like it as well, to be honest. The only downside is you can't use it inside because you'll get carbon monoxide poisoning. So the electric one would be better here. Got the new alloys on the van, they've gone on, 16-inch ones. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's it, basically finished. There's just the marker lights on the very back I wanted to fit, but beyond that, it's basically done. Both of these vans I need to fit, apparently I was looking into it, I've got to fit some sort of rear lights on the back of these, you know, the ones that sort of sit here. They're about 40 quid a light. I've got to put 2 here and 2 in the grille on the front. I've got to do that on both of them. But it's not urgent, that can just wait for another time. All right, leave that for 5 minutes, let it heat up. How hard do you think it's going to be to take that off? Apparently this steamer blitzes it. It just peels straight off, but we'll see. I don't know how we're going to get that one off. We'll see. Oh yeah. In the next warehouse, this is what we're going to have. We're only here for like 18 months, hopefully 2 years. The next place is going to be like 3 times the size of it. So I've got big plans. And there's going to be like 10 of these. I'm getting carried away, aren't I? All right. Anyway, the point was, right, this is all off now, but the glue residue is still on and the steamer doesn't remove it, which is a real shame. I was using some brake cleaner. I've done a little bit of the A with it and it's come off all right, and it doesn't seem to have affected the paintwork. It seems to be all right, but I'm not convinced that that is good for the bodywork. There's no rush for me to put the new decals on. I'd have liked to, but does anybody know how to get rid of this stuff? How to get rid of this residue? Leave it below if you know, because I don't. I'm just using that, but I'm not. Maybe that's okay, because it seems all right, but I'm just not convinced that there must be a proper product or some method. Because I was using this to try and scrape it, but then I don't want to damage the bodywork. There's got to be. Leave it below if you know.
Day 2.
I have absolutely no idea what day we're on, what we're doing, but I've got to bring the truck in just to load it up now quickly, because we've got a job we were at the other day. I'll leave a marker on top for it now, where we're putting all the CCTV in. One of those cameras has got a glitch for some reason. It's got some sort of software glitch because it keeps bugging out. So we've got to go and replace that. Once we've done that, I've got a quote round the corner to go and do. Then I've got some fault finding to go and do. Yeah, come along, join the fun journey. I've just realised we went to the wholesaler. They don't have any of these Reolinks on the shelf. They sold all of them. This was my own unit and I put these in like 4 weeks ago. I'm having to take them out of my own unit because I don't want to have to do 2 trips there. So I'll take my own one out, reorder another one here and then go and fit this one over there. Anyone who thinks this is a slick operation, it's not. We're going day by day, you know. Right, Mr. Cameraman. Right, the plate can stay there because I'll bring the broken one back. In fact, I'll bring the broken one back, I'll fit it here, and I want to see if it glitches out here as well. Right, we're here now. That camera up there, for some reason, is glitching out on software. I don't know why. If you plug it in, it's absolutely fine. Give it a day or two, and it just starts bugging out. So I've got another one, as you saw, which I took down. I'm going to put that one up, but I'll get Reolink to swap them over. But that should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be the end of the issue. Right, camera's in the bucket. What else do I need before I go up? How many times I do that? I've done whole jobs before. You get down, you go to take your harness off, realise you didn't even click it in the first place. Don't say it hasn't happened to you. I bloody well know it has. I would like to live in this road, but I've got a feeling I don't earn enough. It's just a hunch. Let's disconnect. Okay, that's one camera out. Okay, yeah, I just put a whisker box there just to keep everything waterproof. But that is in. Yeah, apparently this one was bugging out for some reason. He plugs it in and he said like a day or 2 days passes and then it starts glitching and spazzing out. So I'll take it back to the unit, plug it into my system and see if it's doing the same thing. My unit is a test centre for just about everything. Anyway, let's get back down. I saw that on eBay the other day actually, and I just thought it's worth a purchase, you know, just to make a driver behind smile. But there is actually an element of truth to that. Don't tell me I do my fucking job unless I ask for it on here. Right, that is up and running. You can't actually see it because it's a blurred image, but it is there and it is up and running. So, one job done. Come here. Yes. I shall call you Bert. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the most attention I've had all week. There were some people who were like, oh, that post isn't going to last 2 minutes when a squirrel jumps on it. Have you seen how solidly this is bolted? Trust me, this won't go anywhere. I don't know if the video gave an opposite illusion, but trust me, it won't go anywhere. Some people were like, they'd have preferred to put a white post in. I just thought natural wood looked nicer, but I think that's just down to personal taste, I think. Actually, we've got to go into the boiler house in a minute. I've got to change the fuse spur over. I'll see you in there. Yeah, so this is just an immersion cylinder. The element's fine, but the switch has died, from my understanding. So he wants a new one fitted. So I said, yes, sir, not a problem. Hugo, the dog is called. It's a very posh name for a dog. Hugo. Here, Hugo. Hugo. Don't shit on the neighbour's lawn, Hugo. Hugo, stop him. We'll take the other switch off, just in the interest of curiosity. Just to check what that one looks like. Looks fine to me. Let's just whip that off and just make sure power is actually getting through. Because I know what will happen. I'll get in my van, drive off. 2 minutes later, oh, it's not working. 240, yeah, okay, live to neutral, perfect. Right, that is working. Let's try the top one. 240, 240. That is working fine. Ideal. Right, let's go and do some garden fault finding. I'm not sure if we can get any content there or not. We'll have a look.
A few moments later.
Now, right, the garden we couldn't get into because the au pair or the nanny or whatever she wasn't in and the customer was away on holiday. So this looks like McDonald's, but it's not. Okay, I've just stopped here to get some lunch. It looks like McDonald's, but it's not. And as soon as I've had this very healthy lunch, I'm going to go down to Baker Street to go and see my next client, which is where we've got a quote to go and do. So you can come and join me for that as soon as I've had not McDonald's. Right, we are here at this quote. Now you may remember this job from, God, we did this about a year ago. And do you remember this was the one with the worktops and the grid switches, which I was fitting in his kitchen? And this is the tops actually. I don't think you guys ever saw the finished result here because we finished our second fix and then we left. But this is obviously they've been using it for like a year now, but beautiful finish, don't you think? Nice integrated hob. But this hob's half the reason we're here. They had a leak on the roof. And this big, beautiful extractor hood, all the water just came pouring through here, pouring onto this hob. So that's knackered. This works, but it keeps coming up with a fault code when you boil water on it for some reason. So I don't know, that's probably just gonna end up being changed. So that's gotta be done. And that was like a fountain by all accounts. It was all coming through. He's dried it out with a hairdryer and he's turned it back on, but we've got to do an EICR here now and just give everything a check just before he starts using it properly again. But same again with the smoke alarm. I believe that's off at the moment and these two are off for some reason, so we've got to investigate that a bit more. But the floor, look at the floor here, isn't it a beautiful finish? Actually, this has all got to come up, unfortunately. It's such a shame because he's finished it and done such a beautiful job here and now it's all got to come up again. He was just showing me now the water's came in, but it's come up underneath this top layer of this polished floor. So this has got to be, they've got to grind off this top piece of the flooring and relay it apparently. But if you ignore that, that's a nice finish, isn't it? If you're into that sort of finish, that's not to everyone's taste, but it's a beautiful, I think it's a beautiful finish. It's a really nice, some people like carpet, but I think that's properly stunning. And then you have these nice doors. Yeah, you guys didn't see any of this, all these nice doors he's had fitted now. Very modern look, I think, but it's a very clean look as well. I love it. I think it's such a nice clean finish. So that's going to be coming up in content the next couple of weeks, I guess, so stay tuned for that. Where are we going next? Not sure where we're going next. We'll find out in a second. I can't show you the outside of this house, but it's in the middle of the city, okay? You can see it's in a nice area, right? Now, when I'm using that bucket truck, right, and I've got my harness on, like everyone's moaning at me about, oh, you're using the wrong type of harness, that's not quite correct. There was one guy who was like, I'm reporting this to IPAP, they can deal with this mess. I'm like, just go with me, right? This picture, I'm gonna leave it on the screen somewhere now, right? This was taken at this house, literally we're talking a week ago, 10 days ago, no scaffold, no harnesses, and we're talking W1 area, right? Not bothered. Just hopping around on the roof like bunny rabbits, not bothered. But that's okay, because if you speak to somebody and say, look at that, they'll just go, yeah, but they're roofers. That's just what they do. How is that any different? Can someone explain that? I mean, if matey boy there on the bottom left-hand corner, if he falls off, he's dead. I mean, or at best, he'll spend the rest of his life drinking through a straw, okay? One or the other, right? So I appreciate that it might not be the correct harness, but at least I'm making an effort, okay? Because I just find that laughable, how that's considered completely okay in the middle of the city and no one cares less. Just thought I'd share that. Right, everybody, we are almost at the end of the day. I've come back to, we were taking off the vinyls for the van. So what I've done is we got into a bit of an issue with the adhesive. So I ended up, courtesy of Jeff Basos, personally delivered it himself, some sticker remover. It actually does seem to do quite a good job. It probably is just nail polish remover. They've just put a different sticker on it because it smells exactly the same. I was a bit sketchy about using brake cleaner because that's really quite strong, but that might be the same thing. I don't know. It's a solvent, but it does seem to have taken it off really well. The back doors, we didn't have any labels on the back, so that was fine. This side, the cameraman's done, and, well, yeah. You know when you take a sticker off, the paintwork is lighter because this has naturally faded and what's under the sticker hasn't faded. But we've buffed it quite a lot and I want to take it outside and see if you notice it. So let me pull this out and we'll be back in a sec with the steamer. Yes, Thomas Nagy, pro camera guy. Yeah, baby. This is now the camera guy show. I'm no longer needed. All you see is a pixelated face. For some reason I'm doing my own camera work. I don't know why. Camera guy's doing this side.
Flip the screen round so you can see yourself.
Honestly, I'm learning. Oh man! I was actually just saying, with this screen here, and now I can see myself. You're basically out of a job. Yeah. I literally don't need you anymore. fucking creased it there. Once it's in the sun and it warms up, I can press the rest of it out. Well, that's one side done, but it is 7 o'clock and I've got to go home. Otherwise, I'm not going to have a relationship to go home to at this rate. Seems to be married to my job at the moment. But it's on, that's one side done. The other side is polished and ready now for the signage to go on that side. So we will catch up first thing in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Day 3.
Hello, everybody. This is the next day. Do you like my labels? Trying to make a company that cares about its employees and actually gives a shit. So I know that Joe likes his tea, all right? So we've got Assam, we've got Darji, nice little things actually from Tesco. If you're in a hurry, you can have the, I like to call it the instant shit. That's there. I've got these here. So we've got lemon and chili mix. That's actually very nice. Sweet chili peanuts and something which I'm not sure, I still don't know fully what it is, but it's a rather, it does taste quite nice. The point is, I put all these labels on trying to make it nice and homely. Joe came in and thought it was rather amusing. So he proceeded to take the label printer and start labeling everything up, which I thought was a little unnecessary. It's a bit of a, you know, a low blow. He did put one on the front of my van. He just put van and stuck it there. Apparently there's other ones stuck around here. I haven't found them yet. I have to go to pick up a dishwasher to keep Sarah upstairs happy because that encourages good workforce. So I have to go and pick up a dishwasher and it's going to go right there where the returns is. So the returns area, I don't know, I'm going to have to move that somewhere else because that's where the dishwasher's got to go. So let me go and get that and I'll be back here in about an hour.
1 hour later.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it here. Being a manager, huh? It's fucking really hard. Unfortunately, I haven't got to the point where I can afford to have a manager manage everything, so I can just go and play golf. I haven't got there yet. Right, where do we put this beast? It really needs to go over there, doesn't it? Show you that. Halford's advanced set. I had a 17mm socket. I was undoing a nut of some sort. Cracked it. First one I've ever cracked. 17mm socket. I didn't notice it. It broke the nut, but it was only when I took it off. It cracked. Apparently they've got a lifetime guarantee, so I'm going to walk back in with one of them and see if they actually live up to that. Ah, like a glove. Yeah, perfect. All right, waste there. I've got a washing machine there, so that'll do. I didn't test it. I just took it on. Oh no, it does work. All right. Okay. All right, let me plumb this in underneath. I'll be back in a mo. I hasn't tripped the RCD yet. That's good. You're never sure when you buy second-hand stuff. She was kind enough to leave me a bag of salt, or whether that's actually a bag of meth or something, and she's just forgotten to take it out of the dishwasher. Yeah, sorry, that was a text from a customer. Hi, Chris. Sorting your quote out now. That was for that EICR that we went to, the repair work for that water damage. Be with you in the hour. Thumbs up. Done. Right, dishwasher, well, I'm going to say installed. It's on doing an intensive cycle. We'll see if it leaks or trips the RCD. I've got a call out come in over, in fact, that big building there. It's literally the one behind there. So I'm just going to jump in said truck and we're going to run over and take a little look. Now this job here came through as no power in rear stairwell. Now that doesn't tell me a huge amount because generally what happens is like when something goes wrong, generally the person who's noticed it will report it to the building manager. Now their description will be accurate. By the time the building manager reports it to the landlord of the block, and then by the time the landlord reports it to the service company, and then they report. Honestly, we've had them in the past where it's been, replace light in stairwell. By the time it gets to me, it's add an extra light in the kitchen or something. Completely, this is why you end up carrying quite a lot of stuff on the vans, because when you get especially responsive breakdowns, they're so varied. And what the job sheet says, 8 times out of 10 is nothing, it's not what's written on the job sheet. But here, it looks like just these 2 lights. You've got one here. Okay, no power. I'm guessing no lights because there's no actual sockets in this. Yeah, I'm guessing just these lights are out. Yeah, the job sheet just came through as no power in communal hallway. Let's have a look. Okay, lovely. Quality install. Now I've worked in this block before, but I did bring the wrong lamps. They were 28 watt lamps. These are 16s. You can retrofit 16s and 28 watt fittings, FYI. Obviously it's not great, but if you've got nothing else on the van and you just want to get some light in a hallway or something, you can do it just to get by. Yeah, so normally when you replace these fittings nowadays, you just replace it with an LED bulkhead or something. But normally, well, they'll have an LED gear tray. When the LED tray fails, you can just unscrew it, take it out, put a new one in, the fitting stays in. But these are the older ones, the CFLs. So that's a 28 watt one. that's 16. But the back on them is exactly the same. The actual fitting is no different. The moulding is the same. They just put a bigger tube in. But you should. It might be the ballast has failed. Nope, it is just the fitting. Just the lamp, sorry. Sometimes it's the ballast pack that fails, and we keep some of those in the warehouse. Ah, okay, I'm starting to understand why this was off, because these are a mare to fit back in. You're going to have a lot of patience to do this job. Hit the light fitting, Tom, that'll work. That looks good, I'm going to leave it there. What do we think about the next one? We think that's just a bulb out? I'm going with no, it can't be that straightforward. I will probably recommend they just put new fittings in, because there's no way those old Nycads are still holding a 3-hour charge. There you go, all right. Yeah, so for things like this will just get billed out at an hour, 90 minutes. I don't know, I'll work it out on the job sheet in a minute. This is like today, that job you saw earlier, that rewire that Joe and James had started, I was supposed to be going there, but then like this job comes in and this is reactive, and the deal we have is that we have to get to these within 6 hours. So I have to come and do this. I haven't got a choice, so I have to sort of just trust. A lot of this is just trust. You just trust that they're getting on with the job and not sitting there scratching their ass at the end of the day, because that's what you're just trusting them. That fitting's pretty buggered, but I would just tell them they need to get a couple of new fittings, because those look pretty tired and shot, to be honest. Right, we are in the van now, heading down to Joe and James. It's just coming up to 3 o'clock, so I'll go and see them quickly. Like, I want to help with that job, but I just haven't got time because there is so much other stuff which has got to be done. So I'll run in, I'll just make sure they're okay, make sure they're happy. That's all you can do. And then I've got to go back. I've got the signage on this van. I'm driving around with signage on one side of the van. So I haven't put the decals on this side. I've got to come back, do that. Joe's van's got to come in. That's got to be done because we need that, because we need the photographs for the website. So all of these things are intertwined. So there's just a lot going on, but it's all right. I'm trying to adjust to my new role, and it is getting easier. There are days where it's tough, you know. But on the whole, it's slowly getting easier. Feels like I'm checking up on them, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not, because I trust they're getting on with it. But it's just nice. I think it's just nice to have a face, you know, actually give an interest in what's going on. All right, Ansem. I'd like to point out I haven't just been sat drinking coffee with my fucking feet up. In the hammock, fucking snoozing. How you doing, Ansem?
Good, you?
Yeah, all right. Oh, you put the trunking in. Good effort. Yeah. Yeah, that is as neat as you're going to get it. We were saying earlier the customer wanted all this surface just to try and keep the cost down. Yeah, it's a properly good effort, mate. Well done. Yeah, I see where you're going with it. You're just cutting all the boxes out and everything.
Yeah, I just make the stuff ready for tomorrow.
I think he's renting this place out. I think that's my understanding.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Fab. We've got the board back at the unit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's come out properly neat, actually, yeah. So this is what they've all done while I've been away doing other stuff. Originally, they put on 47mm back boxes. Customer wanted them to be slimmer, because I didn't know if they were putting USB sockets on, because some USB sockets, you can't fit the control gear and gubbins into a 25mm box if it's 47s. But she wanted us to change, and we put 25. These are actually 32s, I think. It's come out neat when you look at it. It's fair play. They've done a puckily neat job. This is what I'm saying. I do trust them, and I know I can leave them, and they'll both plod on, and they'll just get on with it, you know. But yeah, when you're growing a business, you do have to have a core team of people you implicitly trust. Right, so I'm just having a little. I'm just giving them a hand, just clearing down, because it's almost 4 o'clock, and we work 7 till 4, so it's almost 4. They want to get off, but basically, new board's going to go up there. That will be probably a 10-way board, I'd imagine will fit. We're not going to bother with surge up here because it's so far from the main incomer. It's just not, it will have literally no effect up here. So that's going to go in. We've got an MI we've got to terminate there into a galvanised box. So we've got to re-terminate that into a gal box. From there, it'll be a set of meter tails into the meter, from the meter to the board, but that's probably going to get changed. So otherwise, I'm going to give them a hand just clearing up, and we'll see you in a second. Electricians do clean. It doesn't happen often, but they do. I did a job once. This was down in Exeter years and years ago. And it was when I was a lot younger. I'd done something, and there was a plumber on site, a plumber and an apprentice working on site, and I didn't. Back then, I was like, you know, that day I'd have just got up and left and just let somebody else clean it up. And I did that, and the plumber was there, and I just got up and left, hopped in the van and drove off. The plumber arrived the next day. He gave me a proper rollicking for it. That was the last time I ever left my crap out on site. Ever since then, I always cleaned up. But it did take a plumber giving me a proper bollocking over it. To be fair, I did leave a lot of shit out actually, so I can't really blame him because he had to go behind me and clean it up. All of the overhead trunking, in fact, I'll show you. In all of the overhead trunking, I think Joe and James are putting these FP clips. So anything that's overhead like this, they're just clipping those in and then put the fascia back on. Something like that, yeah. I can't think of another way of doing it. James was just saying that's for the MI. So the MI will come in to a galv box. We'll just run an earth band off the box to the main earth terminal. And then inside, like James was saying, we'll just put a set of single Henley blocks, live and neutral, up to your meter. That's it. I can't think of a better way of doing it. Right, they've just left. I'm going to head back to the unit. I'll see you down there. This is my super proficient way of making sure there's no dirt on the van before the new logos go on. Nothing to see here. I'm not washing it again. I washed it yesterday. That'll be fine. Lovely. It's ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done. One more done. So that's 2 vans down. I've got 2 to go. I've got the little Kangoo, but that's having slightly different graphics on it. So the Kangoo's got to be done, and then Joe's van's got to be done. His one's still got the original decaling on it, so that one's got to be done. But this one's done. The truck's done. Yeah, we're about there. So I'm going to leave this video here because I think we're at about time. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe because it does make a real difference. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you. This is Monday video, so we're going to see you on Friday. That'll be the next video. Ciao for now.